Hi, Val.
Hi, Robert.
How are you doing?
Good, I'm doing fine, thanks.
All right, so today we're going to get user feedback for DIDE, Democratizing Innovation, Equity, Innovation, Decisions, and Equity. The first thing I want to go over is to describe for you what DIDE is. And it is basically an administrative system based on complexity theory that emphasizes bottom-up innovation, collective decision-making or shared governance, democratic policy-making, and it's backed by a financial incentive program. So you do the innovation, you get suggestions from patients, and you propose innovation going up to your administrators, and they propose it up. Collective decision-making, you're in control. Your team is in control of point of service decisions. You're able to adapt to patients, everything like that, and kind of decide policy. Democratic policy making, same thing. And then shared governance, so you're in control. And all of this, your team is judged, your performance, it's backed by an incentive program. So the first thing that we wanted to go over, the first part of the program, is shared governance. So what do you think about nurses as a team, ER, surgical, whatever? What do you think about nurses having the ability to make their own decisions and adapt to different patients and kind of have a lax policy? Yeah.
Well, as in any business, Robert, you have nurses, especially in a nurses group, you have nurses who are very conscientious. Nurses as a group are conscientious, and those type of nurses are going to work hard no matter what. No matter if you have incentives, no matter if you give them pay raises, they have a sense of work ethic that will make them work hard no matter what.
Yeah.
But you can't have all nurses like that, because there's the other type too. Just as in any employment group, you have the people who come to work, it's just a paycheck. It's a paycheck, I'm going to get a job whether I sit in the break room for 2 hours or whether I'm out there, busting myself, working hard, doing my job, and it's just a paycheck to me.
And on the topic of shared governance, how would you like the ability to decide as a team to get rid of kind of the people who underperform, the people who cause problems at work, and make this decision as a team? Senior nurses get to have more say in who's hired.
That isn't so important to me, as you're never going to be able to find 100% hardworking people who are conscientious about their job. You're always going to be forced to take those people who you have to encourage to do their job. Now, incentivizing is a great way to encourage, and also by
Shared
making
equity.
them feel as if what they do is important and it's making a difference, and that their salary and their chance of advancement is going to depend on them doing a good job. So the important thing, I think, is to find ways to encourage those people who are not the conscientious worker and the ones with the work ethic to become conscientious. And so I think DIDE is a great way to incentivize work performance for that type of person.
Yeah. What do you think about innovation in healthcare? Specifically, our patient needs that you hear at the point of service, that only nurses hear at the point of service. Do you think the patient's needs get heard? Would you like the idea that you can propose freely innovations, a program where administrators hear your thoughts?
I personally would like that. I've been a nurse for over 40 years and I've never been in a situation where that's happened. You have for-profit agencies, and they are more concerned about getting large amounts of work done at low cost. And sure, you have the patient satisfaction, but they expect nurses who are overworked to be doing the patient satisfaction on top of just getting through the day with inadequate numbers of staff. And then you have the government system, which I've been a part of, that you have a job no matter what. It doesn't matter if you do a good job just so you show up for work and log into your computer, you're going to get a paycheck. And so...
Do you think nurses, overworked as they are and understaffed because of the nursing shortage today, do you think that they would step up in that situation where their voice could be heard? Do you think that they would step up and actually do a little extra work to propose evidence-based practices and the sort to administrators?
Yes, nurses.
Just to care for the patient.
Yeah, nurses want to do a good job. They do. As a whole, we want to do a good job. We want to have positive patient outcomes. It's more often than not the lack of staffing, the lack of equipment that makes it difficult for us to do our job. I think it would be more of a management training thing, whereas they would know if you could encourage nurses, if you could give them the equipment they needed, if you could give them the staff they needed, so each and every patient, would have not just adequate nursing care, but superlative nursing care. They would see that reflected in their scores, which in turn, patients more than ever now are going online and they're viewing what the ratings are for hospitals. And hospitals are not only rated, by government agencies, they're also rated by the patients who have been there. And so a glowing review, many glowing reviews from previous patients would increase the business for the hospital, and I think it would increase their profitability as well.
I think there's a level of care that's involved, that's gotten lost in the system. Nurses are more close to patients than anybody else.
It's true.
And you can't have some administrator making policy when a nurse is there on the floor, she sees the patient, she interacts with them, and that means a lot to patients.
That's the trouble with the system now, Robert, is you have the administrators who are totally out of touch with the patients and what patients need. You have the frontline people like nurses, not even so much doctors, because nurses pretty much speak on behalf of their patients to the doctors. And so you have the frontline people, nurses, who traditionally have no say in policies within the hospital. They have no say in equipment needs or what equipment is chosen. And, by just empowering nurses, I think hospitals would automatically see better retention and increased profits because of patient satisfaction.
Yeah, and this goes back to Magnet accreditation, which is actually the best example that I can find for DIDE. Magnet accreditation is all about building a team, almost building a family kind of practice. Close nurses, open collaboration, open communication, they're in control of the point of service, come to work, staff retention, nurse empowerment, job satisfaction, all these things are proven, and yet I think we're just kind of stuck in the old model.
We are, and it's got to be a change from the top. Nurses themselves cannot change this. It has to be administrators that are educated and that make the changes and that encourage the changes. Because we're often told when administration comes to us and they change this and they change that, well, you have to be open to change. Well, we're open to change. What about you?
Will you listen?
Administration should be open to change. They should be open to the fact that this is the future. The future is patient-centered. The future is satisfaction-centered. And the people that can do this are nurses.
You just can't put a caring person in Congress, Yeah, so thank goodness there's more nurse administrators nowadays, because it's one of the best things happening.
That's true, Robert, but again, you have nurse administrators, at least the ones I know, that have been in the administration side of nursing their entire career. And you want to get the opinion of how something should be done the right way, go and ask a floor nurse. The floor nurses have earned their chops. They have
Yep.
And if anyone knows how to change something for the better, it's going to be a floor nurse.
And just for the record, how many promotions have you passed up in your life because you didn't want to become an administrator? 4?
Quite a few,
5?
Robert.
Yeah.
No, I'm hands-on.
Mhm. That's because caring person. But anyways, I think I'm going to call it shared innovation, governance, and equity. So SIGE. Innovation, it should come from the patient. Governance should be a team thing, decision at the point of service. And equity, we should pay our nurses more for giving better care.
Yes,
I,
absolutely.
I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Mhm.
All right.
Very good, Robert.
Thank you.